We've got Sister Shielu here with us, who's going to share her experiences on this topic, interviewed by myself. I was asked to give this interview this morning, and really I kind of felt the first thing I needed to do really was to gauge my understanding of this topic, this practice, because it's very significant, you know, given that Baba's emphasizing it in every single murli, given the fact that he's going into such great depth of this topic. So I kind of felt I needed to sit on my own and just really gauge my own understanding. And I quickly recognized that my understanding was very superficial, you know, which is probably one of the biggest reasons I am unable to practice this consistently, and I'm unable to invoke this experience that Baba really wants me to invoke. And I suppose the questions that have emerged on the basis of my churnings will hopefully clarify to myself and to all of you as well in similar positions how we can take maximum benefit from really going into the depths of this topic related to the self-respect. So I wanted to introduce Sister Shielu. So welcome, Sister Shielu, who I think has been with God ever since. Thank you. Sister Shielu's been with Baba since she was very, very young. All of you, if not most of you, probably know her. I know her best as someone who has relayed a connection with Baba, you know, real experiences with God. And I think every time she tells stories of Sakar Baba, she kind of sucks us into this experience as well. So I'm hoping, you know, her depth on this topic today will give us a similar experience. So I wanted to start really by kind of taking a trip down memory lane really, and asking Sister Shielu why Baba has placed such great emphasis on this topic, on this cyclical drill, and really what its significance is kind of in this point in time. And I think that will hopefully set the scene for all of us. So perhaps that would be a good starting point.
Thank you, Brother Ashish. First of all, I would like to greet you all. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. A very lovely topic is going to be discussed on this evening. The 5 forms of self-respect. And there could be no one better than Brother Ashish to interview on this subject. Actually, there's a long list of the different titles Baba has given to us. And all those titles are self-respect. But then when Baba talks about the 5 forms of self-respect, Baba refers to the whole cycle. And as Baba says that if you spin the cycle, you will become a world sovereign. Baba also says that. If you are able to spin the cycle, then you can cut off the heads of Maya, the 5 heads of Ravan, the 10 heads of Ravan. Like they show Sri Krishna with the discus, and they show in scriptures that he used to just turn this discus, and that discus would go round and round and round, and then cut off the heads of the devils. So Baba says it's not any other discus which can just go on its own and then cut off the heads of the devils, but actually it is spinning the cycle. And if I can spin the cycle, then I can surely conquer the vices. I can surely become a world sovereign. So this is why Baba emphasizes on these 5 forms of self-respect very much. I think, am I right, according to your question?
Yes, absolutely. The significance, I think, is the first starting point for us, because I think Baba in the last Murli has kind of deepened the topic further by connecting self-respect to the 5 forms, but just really for us to try and understand why it is he wants us to go through the experience now of the 5 forms. And I think in summary, your response is very much kind of looking at or invoking this experience of going around the cycle as a means to cut Ravan's head off, so that we can then become world sovereigns as a result of achieving self-sovereignty. Would you say that that's...
Self-sovereignty and then world sovereignty.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you. So my next question really, which I think kind of takes us a step further really, is very much related to Baba's... Until the last Murli, Baba has connected this aspect of self-respect. How is this going to help us with our progress? So specifically, by connecting self-respect so that we are deepening the experience of this cyclical drill, how is that going to help me progress?
So first of all, let us understand these 5 forms of self-respect, because Baba, when he explains on these 5 forms, actually it is understanding the whole knowledge in these 5 forms. When Baba says, you are in the soul world as an incorporeal soul, and then Baba says, not just as an incorporeal soul, but you're so close to Baba. Just imagine when someone is very close to a great person also, he has so much self-respect that I'm so close to so-and-so. And so Baba was emphasizing in the last Murli that, see, in the soul world also you're so close to Baba, the Supreme Soul. So close, because in the soul world there is a tree, an inverted tree, and Shiv Baba is the seed, and then we have the main stem. So we are that main stem, and the souls in that main stem or the trunk, that's the deity religion. So we are the souls of the deity religion, so close to the Supreme Soul. So we are close to God, close to the highest souls all the time. Then when we come down in a very beautiful world of golden age. And there too we are so close to Sri Krishna, so close, as princes and princesses. So that also actually increases our self-respect. So we are so close to God in the soul world. We are so close to Sri Krishna in the golden age. So that feeling of closeness to the highest authorities gives us that feeling of self-respect. And then we come to Copper Age too. We are the worship-worthy images, and how devotees are worshipping us. It's such a beautiful feeling to be given, to experience that reverence and respect being felt, when the devotees give us that. So it's a beautiful feeling, when you get respect from others, definitely your self-respect increases. Yeah.
This is interesting, the first thing you mentioned actually, Shielu Ben, the closeness with God. I think in the last Murli, Baba really emphasized kind of remembering our greatness, remembering the greatness of our self-respect in our eternal form. And he mentioned that we need to be so intoxicated before we start then moving forward into the cycle. Can you explain, just from your own experience, how you can begin from that very stable and powerful state so that you can enjoy a greater experience, across that practice, that drill?
So it's like, just as if any waste thoughts come, very, very easy way of giving a break to waste thoughts. The waste thoughts which come are usually because of body consciousness. No waste thoughts will come if you are soul conscious. Waste thoughts come only when we are body conscious, because then we are remembering the past of this life, or maybe having too many expectations, too many ambitions for the future. So of this life only. And that is because we are so body conscious, and whatever I've done in the past, I'm remembering that. Maybe there are good happenings, maybe bad happenings, but I'm remembering all that, which is not necessary. Sometimes we just are drifted away into our past. So all that is included in waste thoughts. Or we are too much, like daydreaming of the future, which is also not necessary. And that is why it is said, live in the present. Live in the present, because past is history. Learn a lesson from it, that's all. Future is a mystery. You don't know, so forget it. So even the past is gone, and Baba sometimes says any situations which have come, they are very intelligent, the situation, because they don't repeat in the same cycle. They will come again in the next cycle. They won't come in this very form again. Never. It will come in another form, but not in the same form. Again in one cycle. So these situations don't come back. But we keep remembering them. We keep remembering them, brooding over them, worrying about them and all that. So the moment I think I'm a soul, immediately I give a break to my waste thoughts. Because as a soul, immediately I'm able to boost myself or give myself a push upwards towards my self-respect. And as a soul, I'm in my eternal form, in my original form, in my true form, in my form which is so close to God, my pure form. Immediately the waste is totally finished. So that's why Baba emphasizes that if you want to finish waste, then also think of your eternal form, and immediately you'll be able to give a full stop to all the waste thoughts. Yes?
So it's emerging. So in order to stabilize ourselves first, we are emerging this awareness that actually we are souls, and through that awareness we are recognizing that actually we are beyond this form, and that nothing of the past matters at this point in time, which gives us the stability to experience that closeness with God.
Yeah, because now when we are in the soul world, we are like in a neutral position. Anything, whatever we have gained experiences in this cycle, whatever, it was all there. But then once we reach the soul world, it's like experiencing a neutral situation, neutral point. Neutral means neither past nor future, nothing is there. You are just what you are in your original form. So that's a beautiful feeling when we are aware of ourselves in the soul world. So we start off from there. And then, of course, when we spin the cycle, we always think of the positive side of everything. Somebody was questioning me that, golden age to silver age, we came down the ladder. But then, doesn't that give us a little bit of sorrow because we came down the ladder? We come in copper age, then we are influenced by vices. Doesn't that give us sorrow? So how is this cycle going to help us? Because we are coming down the ladder. But Baba says the 5 forms of self-respect means the positive side of everything. So think of the positive side. Think of how I am in the golden age. So I think of my golden age stage all the time. I don't have to say, I came down the ladder, 2 steps down, 1 step down, 10 steps down. No. I'm in my original stage, and then first in my eternal stage, then I'm in my original stage of golden age, and then in my worship-worthy form. And I see myself as a worship-worthy deity. I see myself being worshipped. And that will depend on how high my stage has been at the confluence age. On the basis of that, my worship takes place in copper age. Baba says that too. If at the confluence stage you have had a good stage, a high stage, then definitely your worship-worthy images will be worshipped in a very, very sort of royal way. That if you haven't had that stability, then your worship-worthy images also will not be worshipped in the royal way. So it's compared to what our stage is at the confluence stage. So when we come at the confluence stage, then too, we are so close to Baba, so close. Then, of course, then as angels, we are even more close to Brahma Baba, because Brahma Baba is an angel. And then we go back to Shiv Baba. There also we are so close to Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. So we are so close to the elevated jewels of this cycle, and that consciousness immediately elevates us. So this is why Baba says that you must think of these 5 forms all the time.
Thank you. Actually, I think that clears up something for me, actually, which is that when we go forward into the cycle, we can get caught in a trap of not being able to see the positive side of the cycle and the relevancy in terms of the self-respect against each of the roles as we go through the cycle.
Yes, and also Baba says, always see the positive side of everything, not the negative side. Sometimes we say, oh, well, we did so much of bhakti, but then we fell, we came down the ladder. But then think of the positive side. Had we not come down the ladder, how would Baba come? So the positive side of that is that Baba comes because we came down the ladder. But then my awareness should not be based on how I came down the ladder, but my awareness is based on the thoughts that how Baba elevated me, how Baba uplifted me, because now I'm at the confluence stage when I'm being elevated by Baba. So that stage is maintained, not the stage of copper age and iron age. That's finished. That's no more. But now I'm at the confluence age. And now whatever I do, whatever my efforts on the basis of that will be my worship-worthy form in copper age and iron age.
So there's a real connection between what I'm doing at this point that then forms as I go through the cycle, whether
Definitely.
That's in my deity form, whether that's in my worship-worthy form.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I just wanted to take a step back, actually, because you mentioned a connection as a soul to a very strong feeling. And it's going to be difficult to describe this feeling in words, but actually maybe you could try and just give us a sense of what this initial stage of connecting in our eternal form is through, as we're intoxicated. So that feeling that we should be feeling with God or closeness in order to then start moving forward in this drill.
First of all, when I'm in my original nature, I'm in my true form, I have all my qualities with me. I am filled, I'm full, I'm complete. This is such a beautiful feeling too, because that completion form cannot be experienced otherwise. It can be experienced only when I see myself in that soul world, in my full stage, my complete stage, my perfect stage, my stage in which I have all my values in 100% form. So it's like total perfection in my incorporeal form, as a sparkling star. It's not an imagination. Some people say that, have I to imagine this? It's not an imagination, it's a reality, it's a fact. It's true, it has happened, but we have forgotten it. Very often we say, it's just like, in a film, they show some very interesting story of the hero and the heroine, that how the heroine or the hero meets with an accident. And when he meets with an accident, he's very rich and having a very flourishing business, everything is so good with him. All of a sudden he meets with an accident. And when he meets with an accident, he gets some brain injury and he just forgets. Everything is forgotten. And when he has forgotten everything, he forgets what he was. And he is in the hospital, maybe being given treatment and all that. And then after some time, he becomes all right, but then the past is completely forgotten. And then when he's all right, he again meets another accident. Another accident, and in that accident, again he gets some brain damage, and in that, he forgets this middle period. That he had an accident before, and he was in the hospital, and then how he recovered, he forgot all that. And then he comes back to his original nature, what he was originally. So the two accidents which happened made him, first of all, forget the original, then be in the present, and then the second accident made him forget the present and go back to the original. So he doesn't even remember that he ever had an accident. He's totally forgot. I don't know, they show some films on this. So this is what we were. And what we say that this drama is a drama of remembrance and forgetfulness. Baba uses this word in Hindi, smriti and vismriti. This is a play of smriti and vismriti, awareness and forgetfulness. When the awareness comes, everything is realized. And when there's forgetfulness, everything is forgotten as if it wasn't there. So it is very much there. It's the same thing, but it's forgotten. And then again the awareness is brought in, and I'm back in the awareness, and I have everything back. So this is a beautiful story. Nothing is really lost. Nothing is really gained, because it's all a wonderful cycle through which we are going. It is all there. And that is why they say, if you want to experience your true self, go within, go within. Go within means think of yourself in your original forms and awareness. So it's not imagining, but it is recollecting. There's a big difference between imagining something and then recollecting something. Imagining could be something which is very, very imaginary, something which has never happened, and you're daydreaming, and it's like building castles in the air, that's imagination. But actually it is recollecting. I very often give us a little example, like a child is born probably in a very remote village, and now that person has become a big man, a big shot, a big businessman, very educated, very learned, very famous. And then one day he sees his photograph. His mother shows him that, see, this is the place where you were born, and this is what you were when you were just 1 month old. He'll say, oh, is this me? Is this me? Was I like this? Maybe he is not even wanting to believe it, but his mother has told him. That means it won't be wrong. His mother is telling, mother has seen it, mother has experienced it, so mother can tell him what you were. And then he goes through his past memories. Oh, this is what I was, this is what I was. So those memories actually give him a lot of enthusiasm. They give him a lot of good hope. Yes, because of that, well, now I have risen to this stage. So the present stage is there. But then how he came to that stage, even that is realized. But at the beginning it may seem all imagination. But his mother has told him, so it can't be false, it can't be wrong. And therefore, who is telling me this? Again, faith in who is telling me. I may not remember, but who is telling me this? It is God the Supreme, who is my Supreme Father. He is telling me, because He is away from the cycle. But we come in the cycle and we forget ourselves, and therefore the one who is beyond only can remind us. The one who is under the influence will forget also, just as I have forgotten. So the Supreme Father is reminding me, so that awareness comes. Yes, I was this. And then there's a cycle, so I will become this again. So again, it's like a boost in us. The self-respect is created, which I wasn't there because of some reason, in life. So we are able to forget that whatever obstacles or problems or whatever are there, and I can elevate myself, I can make myself enthusiastic and full of zeal once again, and I'm able to forget whatever wrong situations I've gone through, because those situations are not going to come back again in this cycle.
Thank you, Shielu Ben. I think, you mentioned two things which I think probably most of us would have felt. This whole aspect of imagination and, recollection. And I think it's important, just listening to you, it's important, I guess, to have an image that we see of ourselves, but then to connect the feeling against that image.
Yeah.
So would you say that is a practice that we should be doing constantly in order to kind of solidify, the drill or the forms that the drill takes?
Yes. So in that drill, we should not only recollect in thoughts, but we should also recollect in feelings. So thoughts and feelings should go together. And that will lead to that stage once again. So thoughts, feelings, and then that stage.
Okay. Now, as you were talking, the first thing that came to mind was that Brahma Baba used to carry an image of Narayan. And, in his mind, that was constantly there as a visual. But as he went through this process of self-discovery, he must have had such strong feelings that made that image very real for him. So I guess we need to be adopting a very similar attitude and a similar approach to that.
Yes, it's very interesting how Baba tells in the Murlis that Brahma Baba in his Lokik life, he was a worshipper of Vishnu, worshipper of Sri Narayan. So, but he never knew that he was going to become that. He was a worshipper of Krishna, Narayan, Vishnu, all the same thing. So, but he never knew it. And then when he got a vision of Vishnu, and Vishnu told him that you are the same as me, and you will become me. This took him by surprise. How can I be Vishnu? I am a devotee of Vishnu. So he didn't understand it. He was totally confused. But then how later on Shiv Baba made him realize, yes, this is your future form. And once that realization came in him, he had so much of intoxication. I'm going to become this. I'm going to become this. This is what Baba sometimes says in the Murlis. In the history hall, there's a picture of Lakshmi Narayana, the translight of Lakshmi Narayana. Above that is Sri Krishna's translight. So Baba used to sit on the gaddi in the history hall, and then he used to look at Lakshmi Narayana and then Krishna on top, and he would say, oh, I'm going to become this. I'm going to become this. And he would, shake his shoulders. In Sindhi language, Baba, in the Murlis, it sometimes comes this Sindhi language, doing like this, like little children when they are too enthusiastic. So the word they use is, what's the Sindhi word? Huh? Khagiya marna, khagiya. Like this. So, like little child, when a child is very happy, very delighted, very excited, how it starts making that action. So this is what Baba used to do. He used to become like a small child, a small innocent child, because the intoxication was so much in him at that time. I'm going to become this. And this is why Baba says in the Murlis quite often that you also should sit in front of the picture of Lakshmi Narayan and then recollect, I am going to become like this. I was this. I will become this. I'll tell you a very interesting incident. Once it happened that, there was a soul who came in front of Bab Dada, and at that time we used to have personal conversation. Baba used to speak to individuals. So he told Baba, I have a question. And Baba said, yes, ask. Baba said, when I see the picture of Lakshmi Narayan, I don't feel very happy. I don't feel very happy. And Baba smiled and asked, why? Baba said, all these gorgeous dresses and the ornaments and this and that, it's too much pomp and show, and I don't like it, all that. I don't think I want to become Lakshmi Narayan because I don't like that. Even, in this, the other day, there was the honoring ceremony of those who have dedicated for more than 25 years. There was one sister, I won't mention her name, but she said, when I came at the beginning to Baba's Gyan, I felt, Lakshmi Narayan, my aim and objective, I don't want to become like this. I don't want these dresses, these, golden dress and ornaments and then crown. I don't like all that. So I did not like it. But now, after 25 years, I feel that I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Why I'm liking it? I don't know. What's the difference? Why I'm beginning to like it now? Because if 25 years ago I was to wear this crown and this, this golden sash and whatever was, were you there for the ceremony? Who were there for the ceremony? So many were there. So if 25 years ago, if it would be my ceremony in this way, I would never accept. But today, I'm accepting it very well. And I told her, it was a very nice conversation with her, and I told her that, see, 25 years ago, you were more towards the Kali-yugi world. And now, after 25 years, you are more closer to the Satyugi world. And this is why you are beginning to like it. But well, that's another story. But then the story with Baba, Bap Dada. So that soul told Baba, Baba, I don't like it. Then Baba told her very sweetly, and he was an artist. Well, so Baba told him that, see, you are an artist. And if you were told to paint a picture of perfect human being, how would you paint it? What would be your painting like? Perfect human being. That's the title of your picture. Would you draw someone, would you draw a small child? Would you draw an aged man, an old man with all wrinkles and bending down with a stick and not able to see and, blind or deaf or dumb and old and all that? Would you draw like that? Would you draw a poor person? Would you draw maybe a diseased person? How would you draw a perfect human being? How would you paint? What would your painting be like? Perfect human being. Then he started thinking. So he didn't reply. So Baba says, see, perfect human being means perfect in health. This is one criteria for perfection. Perfect in health, perfect in the mind, perfect in wealth, perfect in relationships. So body, mind, wealth, relationships. In all four aspects, there is perfection. So if you want to show perfection in health, you will show someone young, energetic, strong, beautiful, attractive, handsome, whatever, and very good personality too. So that's perfection in body. Perfection in mind, because mind, the face is a reflection of the mind. So perfect in mind means the face is so attractive, showing peace, love, calmness, strength, all that visible on the face. All the values visible on the face. And then perfect in wealth. So when you want to show perfect in wealth, would you show him in tattered clothes? Torn clothes? No. Very good looking, in good clothes. And the perfect form of wealth is with a crown. Crown means the highest status, where one is the wealthiest of all. So crown stands for wealth. So perfect in body, mind, wealth, and then relationships. Not shown alone. Not alone, but couple. Because couple, family life, this is the way of this world. Even God is a very big family man. Such a big family God has. So perfection in relationships, showing that it's two together. Because male and female, they are responsible for this world. And therefore Lakshmi and Narayan never shown alone. Even if Narayan is shown, it is shown with 4 arms. If he is shown alone, that means Lakshmi and Narayan together. If Lakshmi is shown alone, she is also with 4 arms, showing Lakshmi and Narayan together. So 4 arms of Lakshmi is called Mahalakshmi. That's what they worship on Diwali day. 4-armed Lakshmi. And 4-armed Vishnu is Lakshmi Narayan together, the male form. And Mahalakshmi is the female form. So male form in front is Vishnu and the female form in front is Mahalakshmi, the great Lakshmi.
Wow.
So that is perfection. So when Baba told him this, that perfect human being means body, mind, wealth and relationship. These are 4 aspects of life. So perfection, all these 4 aspects, that is called perfect human being. And that's what our aim and objective is.
I think you mentioned a very interesting point where you talked about sovereignty, self-sovereignty, and us. I suppose Baba in his last Murali mentioned we are to become double sovereigns, self-sovereignty and world sovereignty, and that's presented to us in a way of a crown, which is what you've just taken up.
Yes.
But he also connects self-sovereignty with self-respect, and just in keeping with this topic of self-respect, Baba mentioned that when I'm sat in the awareness that I am a soul and seated in my self-respect, there is a garland that's placed around me of all of the titles of self-respect. I must admit, I didn't really quite understand that in its true sense. So maybe if you could just share what your thoughts are on how we are presented with a garland of all the titles of self-respect when we're sat, in our eternal form of self-respect.
Yeah, actually, why did Baba say garland? I think Sister Santosh took up this subject the other day. So on wearing garland of self-respect. So garland actually stands for respect. Whenever you want to show respect to someone, you will garland that person. It's a sign of self-respect for that person. And, like you give a bouquet of flowers, it's also a sign of respect. You give a flower, a sign of love and respect. So a flower, a bouquet, a garland, and a gift. We exchange gifts. So all that's a sign of respect. So love and respect, they are shown or revealed through this exchange of flowers and garlands and bouquets. So when Baba says you have to wear the garland of self-respect all the time, that means all the titles which Baba has given to us, we have to continue to recall them, to remember them, to churn them, to think of them, and then to feel them, to experience them, to behave in that way. This is what we have to do. When somebody is garlanded, his respect, self-respect increases. And then he thinks, oh, he's like adorned, he's decorated. So this is what Baba wants us to be. Totally decorated or adorned with all the values. Because each sign of self-respect, whatever, like Baba very often says, you are ancestral souls. Like Baba said in today's Sakar Murli, that you are the forefathers. You are the seed, you are with Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba, your original religion, the deity religion. And then the other religions, they are like the branches. So you are their forefathers. Baba said this in today's Murli. So immediately there's boost of self-respect. I am the forefather. I am the ancestor. Now what will that give us experience of? It will give me the experience of total maturity. An ancestral soul has a lot of maturity. So I am such a mature soul. I'm such an experienced soul. I'm a very old soul. Even somebody who's old in body, he feels he's very matured. So I'm so old soul in the sense that I have come down for 5,000 years. So again, all these values are experienced when you are thinking of that self-respect. Who am I? Therefore this question, who am I? Though it's a phrase of just 3 words, but it can be elaborated on and on and on. Who am I? So many answers, and all these answers are actually different titles of self-respect. So who am I? And so whenever I say this to myself, my self-respect is boosted up. It is awakened. It is like relived. That's what we experience.
So this, as you were talking, I was thinking that as we move from form to form across the cycle, and this connects back to what you initially said, is think of the positive aspects of who you were as in that role. And Baba has really kind of is really trying to make us see the highest self within each role, i.e. as a soul, as a deity, as a worship-worthy, as a Brahmin. So he's trying to pull us to the highest of each role. Do you think it's, in order for us to deepen our understanding and our appreciation of ourselves, is it worth us writing down, who we are within each role in a detailed way so that we can tie in our self-respect against each of these titles?
Surely we can. We can. As a soul, what is my self-respect? As a deity, what is my self-respect? As a worship-worthy form, what's my self-respect? As a Brahmin, what's my self-respect? As an angel, what's my self-respect? So you can differentiate and make a different list for each self-respect. Why not? We can. That's good churning. You can do that churning. Yes, we can. And we can think of the different values, we can think of the different titles and then tally them with each of these 5 forms.
So churning is key for us to kind of increase this experience.
Sure.
Okay. So my last question, and I'm kind of conscious of time really, is taking this a step further and just exploring that as I practice this drill and go deeper into what should I be experiencing as I'm sat in the awareness of my self-respect in each role. Can you take us through each of these experiences? So the feeling that I should be feeling as I'm going through the cycle, forward as a cycle, right from the beginning. So as an eternal soul, as a deity, as a worship-worthy, as a Brahmin. Could you just share with us the feeling that we need to be connecting with?
Yes, Baba did mention about this in the last Murli, and he has been mentioning more and more in these recent Murlis too. So, and then Baba also says how much time to stabilize yourself in that form. For example, it can be even 1 second, it can be 1 minute, it can be even 5 minutes, in each form. It can be even 10 minutes in each form. So it depends. If I have 1 minute, so in that 1 minute, I can devote a few seconds for each form, and 1 minute I can be. If I have maybe only half a minute, so in 30 seconds I can divide and make it in those 5 forms. But then I should be totally aware of these 5 forms very well. So when I say I'm in my eternal stage of a soul, it's like coming back into attention. It's like, if somebody is quite very sort of casual, very light, very easy, and then the moment, and he is supposed to be having a drill, and if he is told, attention, so the moment attention is said, immediately he will stand at attention. So I am a soul. This is like attention. And when I say I'm a soul, immediately I'm able to overcome body consciousness. Because this body consciousness makes me very casual, very sort of worldly, very much having waste thoughts, drifting away from your true form. So the moment I say I am a soul, immediately I pay attention to myself. This is the first stage. And then, what type of a soul? Baba was saying, I'm a sparkling soul. So I should see myself as a sparkling soul. Then Baba was mentioning the other day that, in the sky there are different types of stars. So these stars change their place. But there's one star, the North Pole star, it never changes its place. It's always in the same place. In Hindi, we call it Dhruv Tara. Dhruv is a story in the scriptures of Dhruv. How he was so stable that nobody could shake him. And he was there for 50,000 years. He stood there in one place. That's what they say in the scriptures. So he's remembered as Dhruv Tara, the unshakable star. And I think for Christ also they say those kings, they got this path from the North Star. That's called North Star. I don't know, what is it called? Who knows about it? Huh? Yeah. So they found the way to Christ from that star. That star showed them the way. That's what they say. What do you say?
They looked for him and discovered there.
Yeah, that's what they say in the Bible. So Baba says that North Star, who is a North Star? I am that North Star, you know. You can think of yourself as a North Star, guiding souls towards God. You know, think in that way. Like those kings were guided towards Jesus. So I am like that North Star guiding souls towards God. So in the eternal stage also, I am so close to God that I am able to guide souls to God. Think of myself in the eternal state. So as a soul in the eternal stage, how I am. Just think of it and become intoxicated. That at that time, I'm totally free. Think of yourself in the soul world, totally free. No bondages of matter, nothing whatsoever. Just a sparkling star at the top, so close to my Father. No bondages, no attractions, no pulls. You can use these negative terms also, doesn't matter, because you are free from them. No thoughts also. No thoughts also, but actually what I am in the soul world, those, my stage I can feel now. What I will not be able to feel in the soul world when I'm there, that feeling I can get here by just thinking of it, and immediately I feel so intoxicated. So as a star, a soul, a sparkling soul in my eternal form, so pure, a pure diamond, a flawless diamond, think of that. And immediately you will become so intoxicated and you'll be able to shun all the physical pulls and attractions and, negativities of this Kali-yugi world immediately. And then, when I come in golden age, again, the self-respect of myself in golden age, that how I'm so close to Krishna. So close to Krishna, the first deity soul. I remember, before I go further, I like to share an experience which I had with Brahma Baba. When I went for the first time, I came to Madhuban, I was about 11, 12 years old. And that was in the year 1960, when I came to Madhuban. And when Baba used to meet the children, actually he used to meet them whole day. But then there were occasions when we would sit on the swing with Baba. So I came to Madhuban with my mother. And we both sat on the swing with Baba. Baba was in the middle, my mother on this side, I on the other side. I was about 12 years old. So Baba is swinging, and Baba is chatting. Baba is talking with me. You know how Baba loved even little children. So Baba asked me, "Child, with whom are you swinging?" I said, "With Baba." Like little children saying. I said, "With Baba." Then Baba asked, "Who else is there with you? Who else is there with you?" Then I looked on to my mother on the other side. I said, "My mother." Then Baba didn't, what Baba wanted was different, a different answer. Then Baba said, "Okay, who else?" Well, there was nobody else, no? Baba in between, my mother and myself. I said, "No, Baba, there's nobody else." Baba said, think. Who else?" So I said, "Baba, there's nobody else." Then Baba stopped and he smiled and he said, "Child, when you swing with Baba, at that time have that intoxication. I'm swinging with the four greatest authorities of the world. 4 greatest authorities of the world, or 3 to be in a practical, we can add one more 4. So 3 greatest authorities of the world, like Dadi Janki was also mentioning the other day. So when Baba said this, I was surprised. What does Baba mean by that? Then Baba said, see, Shiv Baba is in this body. So you are swinging with Shiv Baba. He is the Supreme Soul, the Almighty Authority. So just imagine you're swinging with the Almighty Authority, the Supreme Soul. Then I got intoxicated. Then the next one is Prajapita Brahma, the Father of Humanity. You are swinging with the Father of Humanity. And then I got more intoxicated. Then thirdly, this soul will become Krishna in the future. So you are swinging with the highest deity. And immediately that intoxication came in my mind. I didn't think of this otherwise. But Brahma Baba had this intoxication all the time. And of course the 4th would be sit so close to that Almighty Authority, so close to Brahma Baba, so close to the Sri Krishna. So I am that soul so close to these all three highest authorities. So Baba said, whenever you swing on the swing with Baba, think like that. And even till today, I can't forget that scene. Whenever I swing, I remember like Baba sitting next to me, and I'm swinging with 3 highest authorities of the world. It gives me such a beautiful feeling. So this is the feeling which Brahma Baba had all the time. And that intoxication we children also should have. But Brahma Baba had that faith. And because of that faith, the intoxication was also so natural. But our faith sometimes dwindles because we think, I don't know whether I will be that or not. I don't know whether I can make it or not, whether it will happen or not. These questions which come in the mind, they only create suspicion. No question should come. That's why Baba said 900,000 are the first souls of Golden Age. Don't think that, whether you will come at the beginning of Golden Age or not. You will come because you are part of those 900,000 souls. Just imagine. Those who are to come later on will come later on, not you. That's why even the first timers, when Baba makes them stand up, he asks them, who are the first timers? And then Baba tells them, you are very, very fortunate. You are late, but you are what? Not too late. Why not too late? Why not too late? Many people question why Baba says not too late. You are late, but not too late. Because you can still come at the beginning of Golden Age. You are not too late yet. Because 900,000 Brahmins are the first generation of the Golden Age who will be with Krishna. So you are part of that. The others are going to come in the future and they'll be unlimited. We won't even be able to count them. But then we are part of the 900,000, the beginning population of Golden Age. Because we have become strong Brahmins, Pakka Brahmins. We are following all the principles. We are so close to Baba. We are getting drishti from Baba. We are getting blessings from Baba directly. Those souls who will come later on, they will not be able to get all this. Now we are so close. We are close to the Dadis. Dadis are giving us sustenance. We are so close, we are able to come to Madhuban. We are able to get the full benefit of Madhuban, full benefit of the Brahmin family, full benefit of Bap Dada's, blessings. So all this means that we are very, very fortunate. We are going to come at the beginning of Golden Age. This is definite. But for that, again, a very important criteria is that there should be no breaking away in between, no holidays in between. If you take a holiday and then after that come back, it's like breaking your bone and then trying to join that bone, because once the bone is broken, even if it gets joined again, but it will never be the same. Isn't it? When you have bones which are strong, and no bone has ever broken, then that bone can remain strong till the end. But if at any time you fall and you break any of your bones, then even if the bone heals, but still it will never be the same. So there should be no breaking away, there should be no taking holidays, no going back into the old world and then coming back again. Because Baba said again, where will you go? You will come back. This is the only shop. You will come back. Because the experience you have got from Baba, you cannot forget. You will come back. But then it will not be that much as much you had experienced at the beginning. So make sure that you don't break any bones. Break any bones means falling from the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. So ego, attachment, greed, anger, lust. So it's like lust means fifth floor. You break all your bones. Very, very difficult to repair them again. Therefore, we have to be very, very careful because we have to go through smoothly. We have to experience this Brahmin life in a smooth manner. And for that, Baba is with us. So again, original soul, deity soul, how Baba gives us complete health, wealth, happiness, what nature provides us because it's next to God. Nature is next to God. In India, people worship nature because they think it is God. It is definitely next to God, and we are also gods and goddesses. So in Golden Age, nature is with us all the time. We are receiving the fruit of our efforts which we make here in the Golden Age. So experience that. You can experience it. That is why we have in our exhibitions, in our books, Lakshmi Narayan, the deities. It's very interesting. No? You go enter this art gallery and see your form of Golden Age. See yourself as a deity. In the earlier days, sisters used to go into trance. And for days and days, they used to be in trance. And the Golden Age deities' souls would enter in them. And then how they used to walk, how they used to talk, how they used to eat, how they used to see each other, how they used to do action, so beautiful it used to be. And then sometimes we can do that. It's possible. I have visited many centers abroad also. I see how they prepare Golden Age. So what is Golden Age like? Golden Age where everything is not only in the best form, but also the souls, the bodies, nature, everything is in its best form. And I am that fortunate soul to be experiencing it. This is to be yourself in the Golden Age. Then in Copper Age again, as a worship-worthy soul, think of yourself being worshipped in the best manner, best, highest manner. You go to temples in India. In the house, some of the temples, so much food. Anyway, many temples I've seen. So much food, 56 variety dishes being prepared for Sri Krishna. So much. I went to Srinath here, big laddu, so big, offering to Krishna. I said, this big laddu, Krishna will eat this big laddu? Of course, the statues won't eat, but then you can imagine what Golden Age will be like. Some people might say, oh, no sweet, no sweet, no milk. But in Golden Age, there are rivers of milk and ghee flowing. That means everything is in plenitude. So even Copper Age, everything was in plenitude. So see yourself in that stage of plenitude. But along with that, see yourself in total detachment too, free, because a statue is watching all that but is totally detached. So I am that worship-worthy image, and in front of me, everything is in its most beautiful form, and yet I am detached. We sometimes give an example that even the worship-worthy images, they receive everything. For example, no worship-worthy image is ever broken, with broken arms or broken legs or any even eyes, something wrong with eyes, everything is perfect. Only a perfect image is worship. If that image by chance gets broken, it's never used in a temple. Never used in a temple. Perfect image. Everything of the body should be perfect. So if images are perfect, so how perfect they will be when they are in their perfect form in golden age. Just imagine. So perfect body, perfect mind, even the statues or images which they make of deities, they show that smile on the face, that Baba says you have to become an embodiment of visions, so they are the embodiments of visions. And wealth is unlimited and so much respect they get. Like people just bow before them, they lie prostrate in front of them. In front of images they lie prostrate. Just imagine, so much respect. So how much respect they must be getting in golden age. So I am that soul who is not only worship worthy but also respect worthy. So this is the consciousness we keep at that time. And the feeling should be there. And how I'm experiencing all that, but yet I'm detached. I'm with them, blessing. Baba said the other day in the Avyakt Murli that at this time, whatever words you speak, you're either blessing souls or you're cursing souls. Baba said in yesterday's Murli, but my words are words of blessings. And also I'm accumulating blessings at this time. And as many blessings I accumulate at this time, that much in corporate I will be able to bless souls. So I have to keep on blessing souls. I have to keep on blessing souls because I'm a worship-worthy soul. So in this way, I can create that consciousness and the intoxication and that feeling and that stage. Everything can be created. No words should be uttered from my mouth which should turn into a curse. No. Because whatever thoughts I'm creating at this time, they are making me powerful. So if I speak wrong words, they can turn into a curse. So let me speak only the right words which can turn into blessings, not curse. So I am that worship-worthy image. Then as a Brahmin, of course, we are the highest clan. Brahmins are the ones who run the yajna. Brahmins, there are 5 words which go with Brahma, with Brahmin. Who is a Brahmin? Brahmin is the one who wakes up at Brahma Muhurat. That's the very proper Sanskrit word. Brahma Muhurat, Amrit Vela. If I'm not waking up at Amrit Vela, I can't be called a Brahmin. So Brahmin means waking up at Amrit Vela. Second, Brahmin means the one who eats Brahma Bhojan, pure food. So Brahma Bhojan, Brahma Muhurat, Brahma Bhojan. Then the third is Brahmin is the one who has Brahma Gyan, knowledge of the soul, the supreme soul, karma, the soul world, who has spiritual knowledge. That's called Brahma Gyan. Fourthly, Brahmin is the one who observes Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya means not just celibacy, but Brahmacharya, what Didi Nirmala was mentioning the other day about purity. So I am such a Brahmin. Brahma Muhurat, Brahma Gyan, Brahma Bhojan, and Brahmacharya. These are the 4 aspects of a Brahmin. And I am a Brahmin who is helpful to every soul for every good occasion. In Lokik life also, a Brahmin is invited for any auspicious occasion. Whether it is birth, whether it is marriage, whether it is inauguration of a house, inauguration of anything, a worship is done. Even at death, a Brahmin is invited because a Brahmin will help that soul to get heaven, to get moksha, to get liberation. So how a Brahmin is supposed to be very close to God because he is the direct creation of Brahma. And Brahma is the creation of the Supreme. like they show. I remember I was, where was I? I went to Italy. So in Italy, in the Vatican, they show that big light, and there are many rays, and then the archangels in those rays. So I asked, who is this? Who are these? They said they are the messengers of God. They are messengers of God who are so close to God. That's what I saw in the Vatican. So at that time, immediately I was so intoxicated. These archangels, they are actually we Brahmins, who are the messengers of God. Because at this time we are giving message of God to the people of the world. So I am an archangel, becoming an angel, close to God, giving message of God to everyone. So even this is a very big intoxication of a Brahmin. And then becoming an angel. An angel again giving visions. Brahmins are servers. Angels are only giving visions. So I am an angel giving visions to souls. So that is my final stage before I depart to the soul world. And very often we say, the East and the West. So in the East, deities are worshipped a lot. In the West, angels are worshipped or they are remembered a lot. So I was just thinking once that in the East, how our visions will be shown to devotees. In the East, the visions will be in the form of gods and goddesses. In the West, the visions will be in the form of angels. In the West, wherever you go, there you show angels and angels and angels. So we are those angels who will show our visions to those sorrowful, distressed souls in the world. Because at the end, there will be so much of sorrow. People will be crying out to God and they will see visions of angels. So East will see visions of gods and goddesses. Who are those gods and goddesses? Baba says, you are those gods and goddesses. And the West will see visions of angels. And who are those angels? We are those angels. So that's the vision we have to create, and that will give us the intoxication and the pure feelings. Okay?
Wow. Shielu, thank you very, very much for sharing with such intoxication. I was just looking around at some of the faces. People were just mesmerized as you were talking. So I think for me, just to round up, you've struck, focus on a real balance between knowledge and really accepting what Baba's saying and using the titles he gives us, using everything he tells us and accepting that, and also feeling, bringing this experience of feeling into I am this image and I feel it, and the practicalities around the world around us and the systems around us, and actually what Baba's saying, that is so visibly true, in what you were saying about us being worshipped and how we're worshipped, and Brahmins coming in, everywhere. And I think in our own individual lives, we are actually seen, as supports for people around us. So actually we're performing that role of a Brahmin as we should be, So yeah, thank you very much for your very, very open sharing. That's very useful.
Thank you.
So big thank you, please, to Shielu then.
Okay, anybody has any questions? She's going to ask, yes?
Thank you. As a soul in the soul world,
Sit.
am I conscious? Do I have consciousness? And do I have feeling? I ask because a teacher said, well, being in the soul world is a bit like being in a coma. And I thought, I don't want to be in a coma. Ooh, last thing I want. So the question I have is, am I conscious? And do I vibrate? Do I give anything?
Let us not use this word coma. I don't think it's a good word. But Baba sometimes says that in the soul world, it's like a sleep stage. It's a stage of sleep. When you're in deep sleep, you don't experience anything, do you? At night we go through different stages of sleep too. So the deep sleep stage, is like a delta stage, where you have no experience whatsoever. It's only when you wake up, you feel, oh, I had such good sleep. I'm totally fresh. So Paramdham is a stage of deep sleep. So don't use this word coma, because somebody might have used this word because in coma also person is alive, but he's unconscious. So better than the word coma is a stage of deep sleep, which is a beautiful stage anyway. So Paramdham is like a neutral stage, a deep sleep stage in which there's no experience at all. So even if we are very close to Baba, we do not experience that closeness in Paramdham, but we can experience that here, being in the corporeal body. This is why Baba often says that this corporeal body is also very important, because the experience can be had in the corporeal body only. Like somebody has a very good talent, very good art, painting, is a very good artist, but you need equipments. No, you need a paintbrush, you need colors, you need canvas, you need all that in order to paint. So how can you show your skill without the equipments, without the necessities? So this body, this matter is a method to show your skills, which every soul has. So in soul world, we are all in a deep sleep state. But that experience can be had when we are in the physical form. Okay.
So I was just thinking we've got probably about 13 minutes to get through yoga, and I thought maybe a good way just to end our session today, unless you had
maybe somebody else would like to ask anything.
Okay. Any other questions then?
So don't use this word coma, please. Coma is not a good stage. Sleep. And in saints and sages in India, when they are also sleeping, we never say that they are sleeping. They also sleep, of course, they have a physical body. But then whenever any saint or any sage or any guru, any Mahatma, he is sleeping, we say he's resting. He's resting. The very proper word is resting. So souls are in the rest stage in Paramdham. So that's a better word. Rest stage. Stage of rest. Stage of total quietness, that's all. No action. Yes?
Sometimes when I practice the 5 form state, so I try to create a feeling of self-respect, but there another feeling that unworthy. So what to do with that?
I'm unworthy.
Sorry, unworthy. Unworthy.
Not worthy, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, this feeling of unworthy can come. But then again, we should not allow that thought to come. Unworthy. I am a worthy soul. I am a worthy soul. I am a soul very close to God. I am a worship-worthy soul. So if the unworthiness comes, it's because of old sanskars. The old sanskars of negativity, or the old sanskars of ill feelings or inferiority complex about the self. So that has to be stopped in order to get these positive feelings. So if such an unworthiness thought comes, at that time give it a break. No, I am a very, very worthy soul. I am so close to God. God has chosen me. I am such a beautiful child of God. So again, change it into positive. Okay? So that's what you should do. Don't allow any negativity to come in your mind.
Om Shanti. In the Copper Age, we start to worship ourselves. So I'm a bit confused as to how we are worthy of worship and how we worship at the same time, if you know what I mean.
We worship at the same time?
Yeah, that's when we start
becoming worshippers in the Copper Age, so as we take on...
Actually it's only our images which are worshipped. We as souls are in the worshipper form. But we are worshipping our own worship-worthy forms.
I see.
Though we were souls of the golden age when we were pure and elevated, but when we came in the copper age, we became worshippers and started worshipping our worship-worthy forms which we were in the golden age. So we are worshipping our own worship-worthy forms, and they are our ancestors. Our ancestors, we are worshipping our ancestors. You know, I think in every religion, they pay respect to the ancestors. No, I remember I was in Bali, where there are people from Bali here. How many are from Bali here? Who are from Bali? So, very interesting, when I was in Bali, there are so many temples there. But none of the temples have any images. They're all empty. And when I went there, I saw food kept there. Food in the temples. So I said, why is food kept here? For whom? There's nothing in the temple. And they say the ancestral souls will come and eat the food. The ancestral souls, they come and eat the food. Of course, nothing is eaten, it's all there. But they offer it to the ancestral souls. So who are the deities whom they worship? They are our ancestral souls, no? So we were the worship-worthy ones, and then we came down the ladder. We became the worshippers, but then we are worshipping our worship-worthy forms, our ancestors. So our ancestors are meant to be worship-worthy anyway. So they are doubly worship-worthy. Body is pure, soul is pure, and because they are our ancestors, they are worship-worthy too. So triply worship-worthy. Okay? One more.
Om Shanti. Is it necessary to remember all the titles? Like, we have so many titles, but if we just remember, one or two with each form and not remember all the titles, so...
Yeah, better not remember all, you'll get more confused. So remember one at a time and be lost in that one form, absorb yourself in that one form, experience that one form, take up one form every day. And through that you can make your stage better.
So we'll have one last question, and then maybe, if all of you agree, Shielu can helpfully guide us through a commentary of the 5 forms as a good way to kind of conclude the session. Thank you.
Yes, sister, thank you very much. I want to make reference to the point you raised that we should stay at the center of a circle. And we'll be able to cut off the head of Maya. Maya is nothing but our weaknesses. And the center of a circle is a point of light that is there. I want you to explain it in detail because it will help us in our
I think you meet me personally, then I'll tell you more. Okay,
yes.
Now we don't have that much
Thank you
time.
very much.
Sure, sure. You're from which country, brother? I'm from Nigeria. Nigeria. Oh, I came to Nigeria. Okay. I was in Nigeria last year. I think we should finish now, and just a few minutes of little bit of commentary, because 7:30 music will be played too. Om Shanti. Please sit. You want to speak? You want to say something? So let us go on this journey of the cycle. I start by becoming aware of myself as a soul. Instantly, I detach my mind from the pull of the body. I am a sparkling star. A radiant star. In the soul world, the world of infinite golden red light, I visualize with my mind and intellect how close I am to my Supreme Father, who is also a star like me. I can feel the love, the warmth, the power coming from Baba to me. It's just Baba and me, and none other. In my unlimited home, the world of light. Now Baba wants me to play on the world drama stage. I descend onto the physical world and wear a deity costume. I am a pure soul in a pure body. Matter is so pure. Everything around me is pure.